understand that what is the meaning of sole trader and what are the advantages of being a sole trader. But before that, understand that when a single person is running the business, taking all the risk, getting all the rewards in form of profit, he is a sole trader. He not only manages, controls, owns the business, but lot of work he is doing single-handedly. So what are the keywords that you need to cover? Understand. Sole trader, a business owned, operated, managed and controlled by one person. To make a very good answer, use all four words. If they are asking you what is the most common business organization and what are its advantages, the most common business organization is sole trader. So use all four words: owned, operated, managed and controlled by one person. He takes all the risk and receives all the reward of business. Here reward means profit. So in brackets write down that he receives all the rewards of business, that is profit. So these two lines to cover with all keywords is very important. Now what are the advantages of being a sole trader? So you have to cover these points. What are there? That points: complete control, freedom, do not have to share profit with anyone because he is single person, sole trader. Complete secrecy, he does not have to share it with anyone. Close contact with customers because he has direct contact with his customers. Be your own boss, nobody to take permission from. Decide when and how many hours to work because whole responsibility is his. He can choose to do a business of his own interest and how many hours he need to work he can decide. And then explain the points. First point, sole trading business is easy to set up because very few legal formalities are involved. Less amount of capital is needed to start the business and annual accounts need not be prepared. It is easy to set up. Explain why. You put the knowledge point, then you put the analysis and application point. Very few legal formalities are involved. Less amount of capital is needed to that is known as start-up capital. So the startup capital required is less and your accounts need not be published anywhere. So secrecy is also maintained. Full control. Decision making is quick and easy. Owner need not discuss matters with anyone. So full control and secrecy also. Third point, personal contact with customers because it is a small business. So can be maintained, increasing customer loyalty. Owner can also know about consumer want and preferences. And fourth point, no profit sharing because all the risk and rewards of the business belong to the sole trader solely. Understanding disadvantages of sole trader business. See, there is a single person who is running the business, so all the risk will be his. Such a big minus point that if the business is not able to pay the debts on time, then he himself will to pay off the debts by keeping his personal possessions at risk. That is, his personal property as at risk. If he dies, then there is no continuity in business. If he is no more, the business will also be no more. So let's understand point by point. First, the owner has unlimited liability. Use the keyword unlimited liability for the debts of the business. There is a risk of losing personal wealth to pay off business debts. There is a risk, a very huge risk of losing your personal wealth to pay off business debts. Business is not considered as a separate legal unit. Now you have to write the knowledge part and the application part also, that it has unlimited liability. Okay, how? Explain, give reason that there is a risk of losing personal wealth to pay for business debt because business debts, because business is not considered as a separate legal unit. In sole trader, business and business owner are considered one and the same. Second point, there are limited sources of finance and restricted capital, because he himself has to arrange for all the capital, be it from his own funds or even if it is the borrowed funds, he himself has to manage. So there is limited source of finance, there is restricted capital. It is difficult to raise funds to expand the business, because banks also prefer giving loans or funds to big business, and they are comparatively very small because their standing is very good, that is their financial standing is solid considered to this. So sole trader, it is difficult to raise funds to expand the business. Next, there is no continuity of business. Keyword continuity. There is no continuity of business. If a sole trader dies, the business no longer exists, or you can also write the business cease to exist. Fourth, sole trader may not have essential business skills like financial management to run the business. It might lead to business failure because he is a single person who owns, manages and controls the business. In big organization, you have various managers for each department, but here he has to manage his own business. So that lack of that skill might lead to business failure. Next, it is difficult for sole trader to compete with large business firm. It has to manage in limited capital, resources, funds, manpower and specialized skill. See, you don't have ample number of managers here. You have limited capital, limited resources, limited funds, manpower, and still you have to compete with large scale organizations. So it is difficult for a sole trader to compete with large business. Understand the meaning of partnership. A business formed by two or more people. In sole trader, he was a single person. Now in partnership, they are two or more people who usually share responsibilities of day-to-day running of a business. These people own, finance and run a business jointly. So what are they doing? They are owning the business, that is they own the business, they finance, generally that is they bring some capital in the business, and they run a business jointly. They are known as partners. Advantages of partnership. Children, it also depends for how many marks they have asked the question. If it is for say 4 marks, then give one knowledge point, application point, that is reasoning clearly, and then the second one. Okay, if it is for more marks, then you need to give more points, and not only the knowledge point, analysis and application point should be present. I'll explain you how. First, new partners will bring more capital. So advantage of partnership is more capital, that is the knowledge point. New partners will bring more capital in the business. When there is more capital, then the sole trader will reduce need to borrow money from outside. Now you are explaining, your reasoning is coming that when more capital will be bought by the partners only, then sole trader need not borrow more money from outside. So this is reason continuing. Now what will be the benefit of it? Now you apply that knowledge. How are you applying it? Saving on interest payment and strengthening financial position of business. So this is one full-fledged point for 2 marks. That is, you told why, then you are explaining, and then you are telling how. Why, then knowledge point, then how, and then explanation. New partners will bring more capital in the business. When there is more capital, then the sole trader, it will reduce needs to borrow money from outside. He is comparing with the sole trader that people collectively will bring more capital, then there is no need to borrow money from outside. Saving on interest payment, when you will not borrow from outside, you will save on interest payment. So then what will happen? That will strengthen your financial position of the business. This is for 2 marks. Next, additional partners will help making better informed decisions, more new ideas, skills and specialization in their field will benefit the business. So if there is only one partner, whatever he one sole trader, then whatever he thinks is right, he goes and takes the decisions accordingly. That might not be right. But then if there are partners, more than one people, so there will be more informed decisions, more new ideas, more skills, more specialization in their field that the business will benefit from. Next point, responsibilities and managing day-to-day activities can be shared, which reduces an individual's workload. Unlike sole trader, now the work is divided. So day-to-day activities are also divided and the workload is also divided. A single person need not do everything on its own because now we have partners. Next, partnership may sign a legal agreement known as partnership deed. You should remember what is partnership deed. It is a legal agreement signed by the partners. What does it contain? It contains rights and obligations. Obligations, duties. So it contains rights and obligations of each partner. Now you have that agreement in written known as partnership deed. So in case there is any conflict, you can go and refer to the deed, and so that will avoid conflicts, avoiding dispute, that is conflict, in future. Now we'll understand the disadvantages of partnership. First disadvantage, partners have unlimited liability. What do you mean by unlimited liability? So partners have unlimited liability for the debts of the business. Partners could lose their personal possession. Use this word. They can lose their personal possessions to pay the bills of partnership if they are unable to pay it. So what they want to say is, if the partnership cannot pay its expenses or cannot pay its creditors on their own, then somebody will have to pay it. And who will be that somebody? It will be the partners. So their personal possessions are at risk because of unlimited liability borne by the partners under partnership. They will have to sell their home goods also and pay off the expenses of the firm. Next, partners will be responsible for action of other partners due to the principle of mutual agency. Again, use this keyword. What is mutual agency? Partners are jointly and severally liable to outsiders, even if they have not done anything wrong. Mr. A has not done anything wrong, but Mr. B's wrong will also trap Mr. A because both are partners. So they will be jointly and severally liable to outsiders because of the principle of mutual agency. Next point, slower decision making, as every partner needs to be consulted. Disagreements may cause problems, conflicts and arguments. One single man can take the decision fast. He has nobody to consult to. But when it is partnership, it is slower decision making. The partners need to be consulted and there might be disagreements. They might not come to a common point. So there might be disagreements and that will cause problems, conflicts and arguments. Again, use these words. Fourth point, the partners must share profits among themselves. Now it is not sole trader. Now there are two or more people together. So they have to share profits among themselves. Fifth, it's difficult to raise finance when compared to corporates. See, easier to raise finance as compared to sole trader and difficult to raise finance as compared to corporates because corporates are even bigger than what is partnership and they have separate legal entity. Okay, the ownership is separate. So the banks trust corporates more. They have large capital and the capacity to pay back the principal and interest of corporates is more. So they will get the loan first. So as compared to corporate, it is difficult to raise finance for the partnership. Let us understand what is unincorporated business. A business that does not have legal identity separate from its owners. That is, the business and the businessman both are considered as same because they don't have what? Legal identity separate from its owners. The owners have unlimited liability for business debts. Now, if the business cannot pay its debts, that is, cannot pay its expenses, cannot pay to creditors, whatever a business, there is a shortfall in business, who will pay it? The businessman will pay it from his personal assets. So, that is the risk which unlimited liability carries. The owners have unlimited liability for business debts. Example of unincorporated business is sole trader and partnership. Now, what do you mean by unlimited liability? If an unincorporated business fails, then the owner might use their personal wealth to finance any business debts. That is known as unlimited liability. Now, what are limited companies? Now, these are the companies where you have separate distinct entity. That is, the company has separate distinct entity because company is considered as artificial legal person having a separate and distinct entity from its shareholders, that is investors. So remember this. A limited company is owned by its shareholder. They can also ask, who is the owner of a company? The owner of a company are its shareholders, okay? Not the board of directors. They are just managing the company. Remember this also. Board of directors are just managing the company. Who are the owners of the company? It is shareholders, the people who invest in the company and buy shares. A limited company is owned by its shareholders. Under limited companies, the shareholders have limited liability up to the amount invested by them in the company. What does that mean? This means that if a company fails, will the shareholders be liable to pay the debts of the company? What can they lose? They can lose only till the amount which they have invested in the company in form of shares. Over and above that, they can't lose their personal assets if company fails. So this is a biggest advantage of being a shareholder. That is, if you are a sole trader or a partnership, you have unlimited liability, and that is the danger which you don't face when you are investor, that is shareholder in a limited company. Two main types of limited companies are private limited company and public limited company.